time for the 2024 Rising Stars Bowl as the best players in the class of 2025 in Long Island and New York City go head-to-head in a full contact game in the month of May. Everyone, I'm Jared Valluzzi. Thank you for joining me here today. And in this pregame show, I'm going to go over all the ballers on each side of Long Island, New York City. Make sure that you stay active in the chat. It's going to be a lot of fun as both teams looking for bragging rights. And there's also going to be plenty of college coaches here today. Of course, these are underclassmen looking to play at the next level. So I really can't wait to see what they got in store. But yeah, make sure to get active. It's going to be a lot of fun talking to you guys here. And for Team Long Island, they come in pretty loaded. They have a lot of elite 2025 prospects. And at the quarterback position, we'll start off with Elijah Outlaw from West Babylon. And Outlaw has to be one of the best dual-threat QBs in the state. He's also one of the top multi-sport athletes, really good baseball player for West Bab. I'm excited to see what he does here today. Unfortunately, Brady Nash will not be playing in the Rising Stars Bowl, but Josiah Patrick will. The 6'3" quarterback from Holy Trinity, a lot of fun to watch. He had a pretty good junior season. I expect him to really take the next step during his senior year campaign. And, of course, at the running back position, I mean, Long Island's got two really talented backs that are going to get a lot of touches here that I can't wait to see. Tyler Vayalta and Kendrick Mohan. And when you look at Tyler, he is easily one of the top players in the state after having an incredible junior season. Vayalta ran for easily over 1,000 yards, helped Massapequa go 12-0, Long Island championship. Certainly a must-watch player for the Chiefs. And over there at West Babylon, Kendrick Mohan, he might not be the agile player that Vayalta is, but he brings a real tough style to this ground attack for Team Long Island. He's going to be so tough to tackle. I'm really excited to see what this 1-2 punch does for Team Long Island, but I'm going to take a look at the chat real quick, see what you guys got cooking. And yeah, I mean, this one's going to be a lot of fun. And when you take a look at the rest of Team Long Island, this is one of the most talented receiving corps I think that you could have possibly put together. And we'll start off with Nasir Edwards out of Elmont. And Edwards, 6'4", absolutely sensational what he did during his junior season, winning the Pat Pizzarelli Award just as a junior. Of course, that's given to the top wide receiver in all of Nassau County. He got that honors pretty simply after dominating a lot of the opposition last year. And joining him is an incredible crew. And we'll start off with Kyle Britton out of Seaford. And Britton, he's not in a pass-heavy offense like some of these other guys, but he certainly has an incredible first step, comes away with a lot of grabs. I'm really excited to see what he's got coming for everyone today. And, yeah, make sure to really check out Seaford this upcoming season. A lot of exciting talent. And, of course, guys, this game is brought to you by Move the Chains Academy here in New York City. Move the Chains does a lot of phenomenal stuff 7-on-7-wise, and they put together this special game. I don't think this has ever been done before, a full contact showcase game for all these college coaches to come out and watch. I mean, it's truly special what they got going on. Make sure to follow Move the Chains on Instagram, Twitter. Check out what they're doing. They also got a really great podcast. And, of course, here at Sage Media Solutions, a lot of PSAL live streams. Stay tuned for that next fall. And you can also look at the PSAL championship game replays on the Sage Media Solutions YouTube channel. And let's get back to this wide receiver core as Jaden Simpson is going to be one of the most electrifying players to look out for here in this game, as Simpson is the ultimate speedster, in my own words there during my article, because he can just make plays downfield. He's been a real talented player for Holy Trinity over the years, so excited to see what he does going into his senior season. And joining Simpson is going to be Christian Aquino out of Lindenhurst. And, man, Aquino, he had a solid junior season as well over there at Lindy. Of course, the Bulldogs, they always got a lot of talent. I mean, it's going to be fun to see what, they do in Suffolk County this upcoming season. But Aquino, over 500 yards receiving last year, really good player. Pumped to see him. And alongside him is going to be Chase Cruz out of Holy Trinity. I got a chance to see Cruz at the Elite 5 showcase where, I mean, he was running some beautiful routes. He played very, very well. Excited to see what, he's got in store. But let me know what you guys think of this Team Long Island offense, especially the skill players, because they got, of course, a lot of dudes that I've been mentioning, but some good guys on the line that we're going to get into. But will they be able to do it against New York City secondary and the amazing linebackers that they have that are going to be, after these rushers and after these passers? I'm excited to see what they have with doing that. So, definitely get me your thoughts below. Make sure to, talk about what you guys want to talk about. I'd love to answer some questions, and it's gonna be a really fun day here. And so now we'll get into, for the Team Long Island offensive line, actually, a player that we need to finish this out on would be Bernie Mateo from MacArthur. And he isn't the biggest receiver, but I'm really excited to see what Mateo has for this game, simply because what he does after the catch. He was one of the top players for the Generals last season. Of course, MacArthur looking to build off some success last season and have a good fall. But, Mateo is going to be another really good option for this Long Island receiving core. And over there on the offensive line, the big boys for Team Long Island, man, I mean, it's pretty loaded. Colin Maher out of St. Dom's, 6'6", 300 pounds, just picked up his offer from St. Anselm, and it's getting pretty exciting here with what he's doing. And over there alongside Maher, you got James Loud from Southside, and there are a lot of defending champs on this Team Long Island offensive line. So James Loud helped lead Southside to a Nassau championship last year in Conference 3. Loud was an excellent lead blocker. He did a lot of good things for the Cyclones offense. And also another champion, A.J. Malenko out of Massapequa. I mean, the Chiefs, they beat up pretty much everybody last season when it came to Nassau Conference 1. Malenko, big reason why. It's going to be exciting to see what he does with the rest of this offensive line. And Shabrice Fuller out of West Babylon certainly is going to be putting on a show here today. And West Bab, they didn't get as much love the last season, but they have a lot of amazing playmakers that we're really going to get into, and Fuller certainly one of them. He was a pancake machine, and with Fuller, Isaiah Gittens from Kellenberg competed in that ultra-competitive AAA division. Gittens was excellent, and this O-line, just a lot of really talented guys. Xavier Barbera out of Hop Hog is another one that I'm going to be looking forward to see, another big, violent lineman, and also Carlo DeFazio from Comswag. A lot of these guys in run-heavy offenses, too, and they're able to really just pave holes and do big things. And some of the players to watch defensively for Team Long Island, you got Jarice Matthews out of Roosevelt. And one thing with Matthews, he's probably, he really might be the strongest player in New York State with, how dangerous he's become on the defensive line. And Matthews has certainly been excellent during his time with Roosevelt. I'm pumped to see what he does in this game. And also with Matthews is some really fast guys on the defensive side. We'll go with Stephen McDermott out of West Islip. And the Lions were a team that went to the Suffolk County Championship. McDermott was really good edge rusher. And West Islip, another team that they always have success, but maybe they don't get as much media attention. McDermott looking to change that here today. And over there at the linebacker spot, Trayvon Holland, a guy I made a video on my own page. Check out Uzzi Sports on Instagram. Had some preview videos for the Rising Stars Bowl. And I talked about him, talked about a lot of New York City guys, which we'll get to momentarily. But when you talk about Trayvon Holland, I believe it's 6 foot, 240 pounds of just pure violence. And he's easily one of the hardest hitters in the entire state. He's going to man a really tough linebacker core. Fortunately, Lucas Scotta is not playing today, but Team Long Island has Adrian Ayala along with Namayu Wilkerson from Bayshore. So a lot of really good players here today at the linebacker spot. And finally, it's the secondary. And just like the receiver group, Team Long Island loaded at that spot. And we take a look at the DBs. Christian DaCosta out of Kellenberg really put himself on the map last season with what he did against some stellar competition. He does it both ways. So, I'm really pumped to see him out there against some really good New York City receivers. Eric St. Louis out of Bayshore, a long athletic corner who does a lot of really good things. He had a good season in Suffolk County. And Frankie Romano, part of that Massapequa championship team, he's going to look to make some plays, whether it's at safety or corner. And now a couple of defensive backs that I really love, though, is we'll start off with Andrew Riggs out of Comac. And last season, I think Riggs easily made himself one of the top players on Long Island. 7 interceptions, over 70 tackles. He was really just getting it done for Comac wherever they needed him because he was also an elite receiver. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Riggs does for Comac and, of course, for Team Long Island here. And staying in Suffolk County is Chris Watkins out of Floyd. And, man, physical, athletic, Watkins with a really good junior year. I think he's going to be the guy for Floyd this upcoming season, and he's going to look to make some plays here for Team Long Island. And Justin Baldwin out of West Babylon is a guy that, we saw him at some prep red zone camps, doing really good. Another one of those West Bab products that stock is rising. I think Baldwin's going to have a big-time day here at the Rising Stars Bowl. And finally, the kicker position, man. Special teams, you got to always give credit to him. And Jace DeJohn out of Holy Trinity. I hope he gets a chance to try a kick from maybe 40 yards today or anything like that. He's got a big leg, one of the best kickers in the state. I really want to see what he does. Gives him some special teams, some love, of course. You cannot not do that. And, defensively, man, Team Long Island's got a good group. Stephen McDermott and Kevin Washington really form a tough defensive line. So I want to see what Long Island's got in store. And they're pretty loaded that way. But now we're going over the bridge. We're going to the other side. It's Team New York City. And I know they're amped up for this game. Shout out Coach Perlow, who's the head coach for Team NYC. And he's built an amazing program at A. Philip Randolph. And he's got one of his players here today who is the only sophomore playing. There's a rule that each team could use one sophomore in this game. Team Long Island didn't take that option. Team New York City did. And they got a good one. His name's Travis Gamble, and he's one of the best players in the state. Division I schools are going to be all over Gamble. I'm pumped to see what he does. He was first-team All-State last year, and also in that running back room. Daniel Germain out of Canarsie is a part of that rebuilding Canarsie group for this upcoming season. I'm pumped to see what he really does, and, of course, you can't forget Richard Pacheco out of Moore Catholic, another elite Division I prospect, as Pacheco offers from, I believe, Maryland, Buffalo, a couple other FBS schools. And the running back room is great, but also the quarterback room. And Ja'Kai Plasmy is going to highlight that one. South Shore able to win the PSAL 2A championship. And a theme is some South Shore guys. They're actually up into the 4A. A lot of controversy to see if they're actually going to be able to compete, maybe win a championship. Who knows? Of course, they got to go against some really good 4A teams, but taking a look at the Vikings, Plasmy was one of the leaders last year. He threw all over defenses. He wasn't quite the biggest player, but quite frankly, didn't matter. And also some other quarterbacks, Aiden Farley out of Fort Hamilton. According to the PSAL website, sometimes reliable, sometimes not, was the leading passer in all divisions. He led it in passing yards and touchdowns. Really love to see what he's going to do against some Team Long Island defensive backs that I talked about earlier that are very elite. And finally, Tommy Zulo out of St. Francis Prep. And, man, the Terriers pretty well represented here today. They're always competitive in the AA1 division. But, I think they got a lot of really talented guys competing here today, looking to make a name for themselves. And going to the receiver room, so I really talked about Team Long Island's wide receivers a lot. loaded, of course, in their own right. But we're going to start off with someone that I don't think anyone in New York has actually seen in a real game before. His name's Tyjae Schulters, and he moved here from North Carolina, and he's going to play for South Shore. And Schulters is a dude, man. He is really athletic. He's been killing it in 7-on-7s. Now we get to see him in a real game scenario. I'm excited to see what we got there. And joining Schulters, also from the PSAL, we got Pedro Pinero from DeWitt Clinton, and he was a speedster last year. Clinton, one of the best passing offenses in the 3A. Really excited to see what he does because he can blaze downfield, and maybe the top receiver on the city team. Could even make an argument that he's the top receiver coming back in the Catholic League. And his name's Stephen Dowdy from Iona Prep. And, man, I mean, I'm just extremely excited to see what Dowdy does against some Long Island corners that I mentioned that are really good. But Dowdy can go up and get it. That's the one thing about the Gales. They were really letting it fly down the stretch. Dowdy was taking advantage of it. I was really pumped, when they were getting him the ball more. And I think Team New York City is going to do that a lot today. And also listed at receiver, but I wouldn't be surprised if they let him be a running back, is Elijah Thompson from Eagle 3 out in Queens. And, I mean, Thompson can cut with the best of them, change direction really well, and I think he's going to be a baller for Team New York City. But let's get into the big boys now. Let's get the guys in the trenches some love here. And the Tottenville boys are in the house, and they made a ton of noise during the PSAL season last year. Cyrus Cardona, Michael Trinidad, I mean, they were excellent for a T-ville running attack that said, hey, we can run against anybody pretty much. And it was a lot of fun seeing them. They're both here today looking to cause some havoc and take over a game in the trenches, of course. That's where this game might be won and lost is the trenches. And joining those Tottenville studs is Jeremiah Pope out of South Shore. And like I mentioned, the Vikings coming off a championship, Ja'Kai Plasmy, Tyjae Schulters. To complete the offensive trio in this game, it's the big fella, Jeremiah, a.k.a. Pancakes Pope, because he really gives it to the defense every time he steps out onto the field. You know, I'm looking forward to seeing what Pope does in this game because he dominated the PSAL 2A last season. So now he's get to go against, some elevated competition here with some elite Long Island defensive linemen. And also you got the Villalona twins from Eagle out in Brooklyn. Sorry if I mispronounced that. I know my guys here at Sage Media know Eagle in Brooklyn very, very well. But those brothers, I assume, really helped pave a lot of holes for that Eagle run attack. And, they were very, very good last season when it came to, winning some battles up front. And also Roderick Vivica out of Randolph is another really exciting player that APR has. I gave a lot of praise to Travis Gamble earlier in this pregame show, but you couldn't have done it without the offensive line, of course. Vivica's one of those main guys that needs a lot more love. Looking forward to seeing what he does. And finally, my final offensive lineman I'll talk about is Jordan Gonzalez out of Boys and Girls High School. And, man, what a year it was for Boys High last season, winning the PSAL 3A championship. It was a lot of fun watching them. I'm going to get into one of their other players in a little bit within Joel Ryan. But, man, it was really special seeing Boys High being able to go and defeat DeWitt Clinton in the final. So they were able to do that. Gonzalez, of course, big reason why with, that whole offensive line. And before we get into the defense, we want to bring in the man who made this pretty much all happen within Coach Mack from Move the Chains, and he is a big reason why this game's coming up. Team Long Island, Team New York City, and here at Move the Chains, Coach Mack pretty much runs the show. He also, I think I plugged it before, but he's got a podcast that you guys got to check out. Hopefully I'm getting on it soon. But, yeah, let's get Coach Mack over here. I'm out. Make some room for you. Oh, Coach, man, thanks for taking the time right now to do this. I know this is your event. You got a lot going on. But now that, like, it's actually here, you know, both teams about to play each other at beautiful SUNY Maritime. I mean, how are you feeling?
Feeling really overwhelmed right now. You know, feeling really overwhelmed. Everything is coming together really nicely, though, I must say. I want to thank everybody that helped, because this game, you know, it wasn't just done with just me. It was so many pieces involved to make this game happen. I definitely want to thank you for taking your time out to come out here and help us put this amazing game on. And definitely all high school coaches that supported this game. I want to thank them especially as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, I ran into a bunch of the coaches here today. I mean, everyone from, you know, all different schools, especially across New York City and Long Island, being able to, you know, play together now. And also a ton of college coaches, too, getting ready to see this game, especially with the film that Sage Media's got going on. I mean, how great is it that they get to actually play a real game right now in front of these coaches and getting these opportunities?
I'm so glad you asked that. So if you could just look in the program book, this game was kind of inspired by the Boomer game. That, you know, after COVID, it kind of never came back. The inspiration came from this. I want to just put our own twist on the game, give the juniors a chance to actually be actively recruited. I'm walking around the campus and I'm seeing different college coaches from all across the nation. Yeah, I'm at a loss for words now, man. This is just, yeah, everything is just happening so fast. Time is moving so fast. Yeah, I just want to thank, especially like you said, the college coaches that came down, that's coming to see some of the guys, some of the Division I guys that couldn't actually legally be here, that's watching on. These kids, man, we've had 6 or 7 practices. They was there, they were on time, they were working hard. So definitely just want to give these guys a shot to just get some looks. It's hard. These kids are coming from across all different schools, public, private. So every coach they're not going to get a chance to see all of these kids. So we bring them all here under one roof or under the lights, and give a chance for these guys to be noticed, man.
Yeah, Coach, you know, one other thing that you kind of just touched on, of course, you know New York football well with, you know, public schools not being able to really play against Catholic schools, New York City not really being able to go against Long Island unless if it's in that Catholic league. So now you get, you know, someone who's going to Erasmus Hall taking on someone who's going against Massapequa. I mean, how great is that aspect that the competition's here?
Amazing. That's another point you touched on. A lot of these schools don't play each other. Public stays with public, really. Private stays with private. And then not to mention the divisions within these leagues. The PSAL, 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A. This is kind of like all coming together. Kids from just different leagues, different divisions within their leagues coming together, playing on this wonderful stage, man. It's a blessing. These kids are super hyped for the game, both sides. Yeah, man, we're super pumped for this game.
Yeah, well, Coach Mack, thank you for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yes, thank you, man. You're the best.